Back in 2018, there was a website called www.overthepoles2018.com. I had to use the Wayback Machine to bring up the old website. Essentially, there was supposed to be a flight called the Polar Explorer that was going to circumnavigate the entire alleged globe Earth over both the North and South Poles. A genuine flight like that would be dispositive, as it was supposed to fly straight over the alleged geographic South Pole without turning around. Maybe you weren't around at that time, but all globe propagandists were very excited about this flight because this was going to end the flat Earth. In fact, there was one globe propagandist named Greater Sapien who purchased a ticket on the Polar Explorer. He seemingly used crowdfunding to raise the funds to purchase the ticket. This was certainly an exciting time for the globe propagandists. But there was one lowly, crazy flat earther, and maybe there were others, who didn't believe the claims of the Over the Poles website or the globe propagandists and called the Polar Explorer flight a scam. I actually forgot I made a video about it until I watched reruns of Globebusters the other day, and Bob actually reviewed my old video, which was lost with one of my prior YouTube channel terminations. For whatever reason, I find the Polar Explorer situation highly relevant today. Can you guess who was right? I mean, certainly a lowly flat earther wasn't right over all of those globe propagandists. Was the Polar Explorer a scam? Well, it turns out the flight was a scam, and everyone who purchased a ticket lost their money, including Greater Sapien's contributors. Are we witnessing a Greater Sapien 2.0? You be the judge. Enjoy.
Well, and a couple people did videos on this. Celebrate Truth did one, and so did Taboo Conspiracy. And Taboo Conspiracy, went on to elaborate even more how this thing was doomed from the get-go and that it appears to be a scam. And that is that what he found is, according to the federal air regulations that are in effect for Antarctica, apparently there are limits to which that particular model of aircraft can go from any major airport. And I think it's something like 15 or 1600 miles, something like that. And which means that there's no way that they can get anywhere near the South Pole, or the Edmondson Scott Station. So all of this has been, and of course the FAA could waive those regulations, but I seriously doubt that they are, because we know that they're not going to go down there. But in case you guys have not heard about this, what everybody is talking about is this flight around the globe, the Polar Explorer flight. And it's at this website, overthepoles2018.com. And you can go there and look at it. And what we're looking at specifically here is the code of conduct that shows up down here. And it says, Polar Explorer, is a celebration of commercial aviation and a homage to the achievements of Pan American Airways. The spirit of this flight is one of adventure, friendship, and shared goal of establishing a new aviation speed record. Yeah, right. Although the flight is open to all who wish to join in, it has come to our attention that some have expressed interest in using this flight to attempt to disprove or discredit scientific fact. You got that right, Slim. As the safety and the comfort of all passengers is our primary concern, we will not permit any scientific or experimental equipment of any kind on board the aircraft. Well, what about Greater Sapien, right? Greater Sapien basically crowdfunded from all of his viewers. And by the way, this has been known for quite some time, because like I said, I mentioned this well over a month ago on Globebusters when I first found out about it. And apparently it's been in this, on the web page itself. So either Greater Sapien read this and is aware of it and is going to claim that, he went around the world anyway, or, he didn't do his research, which of course is also pretty normal, I think, for him, and is going to go take this flight, with $20,000 of his subscribers' hard-earned money, and he's going to come back with no proof whatsoever other than what they tell him. And at that, I'm just going to have to laugh. So you got to wonder, what is he going to do, when he gets back from this trip? It's interesting because when you go further into the fine print, as Tabooed Conspiracy does, he finds out that they can change the route at any time. They say, well, if we don't make it, we'll give you back your money unless we can come up with an alternate route. Now, they're not saying alternate route to what, they're just saying alternate route. So basically what they're going to do is they're going to say, oh, well, safety conditions prohibit us from doing this or whatever, or this country won't allow us to do it. So we're just going to go almost to the South Pole, but not really, and we're going to skirt it. This would be my guess as to what they're going to do, because it's all set up in the fine print, essentially, which is pretty amazing. So you have that. You have the fact that the applicable flight regulations do not even allow that particular type of aircraft to be even any further away than, like, I believe 1,800 miles. I can hardly wait to see exactly how Greater Sapien is going to handle this. Is he going to punt his ticket and refund his money, or is he going to just go ahead and take this ride on everybody else's nickel, and where ultimately all he's going to be able to do is take their word for where they're telling them they are, right? So it just absolutely floors me that that this is even happening like this. So it's going to be a fraud.